On this episode, we talk about why, no matter what anyone says, there is no technology on Earth that's so elegant that it can't be improved with a bunch of yellow zip ties. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ideanthro. Now this is a GoPro. It's a GoPro Session. It is a cool, tiny little video camera. And so a few days ago, I was fortunate enough to head out on James Udy's boat on Moreton Bay. James Udy runs Science Under Sail Australia. And while I was out on the boat, I was out there with a bunch of Brisbane City Council people and friends for a bit of a social get together and lovely afternoon sailing around Moreton Bay. And while we're out there, the skipper of the boat was telling us how recently they've been using GoPros to film wildlife underwater. So essentially what they had been doing is getting a brick, so this is in Moreton Bay, getting a brick, attaching a GoPro to the brick, getting a stick that comes out with it, putting some food on the end of that stick, placing the whole lot on the bottom of the bay, hitting film, seeing what happens, seeing what comes and has a look. That's a really interesting way to see the wildlife at the bottom of Moreton Bay. But it got me thinking, okay, little portable waterproof cameras, and cheap too, right? This is $300 odd Australian, so pretty cheap. What could I do with it? And I had a bunch of ideas, so on the spur of the moment, I went out and bought this. But then I realized that I could actually, maybe, if I was lucky, rig it up to do something that I wanted to do for a while. So for ages I've wanted to go out and use a pipe camera to video the underdrains of bioretention systems, see what's happening there, see whether there's any signs of blockage. This was something that I did a little bit of about 4 odd years ago while I was at Logan City Council. Other people have done it, Healthy Waterways, before I joined, did a bit of it. Brad Dalrymple and the crew at BMT WBM did a bit of it, but that was all like 4, maybe even 5 years ago. And so I've wanted to go back and follow up on that. So a while ago I looked into pipe cameras and they were seriously expensive, like $10,000 plus. I decided that wasn't really worth it just to look at something because I was interested in it. And hiring a plumber is pretty expensive. I did get an offer from through the crew at Renew Solutions from Trans-Pacific. I got an offer to borrow a pipe cam, but then I picked up this and I realized that, it's pretty small. We might just be able to rig up a pipe camera. So rather than having to beg and borrow, like it's a super generous offer to borrow one, but you can't just on the spur of the moment go and take a look at something. But if I was, a little bit crafty, I might be able to rig something up. So here I am. By the way, if you haven't met her before, this is Lily. Lily, say hi to everyone. So I decided to rig something up. So suggestion from Tay was get a garden hose, because obviously we're going to push this camera up a small pipe. We need something flexible but relatively sturdy to do that. Thought a garden hose might work okay. So I got a garden hose. And the idea is to attach this GoPro onto the end of it like so. Now, I did have a relatively elegant way of doing this, which was going to include a bit of this plywood, has some backing here, a little bit of this dowel rod that's sitting under there, an elegant way of doing it. And then I realized that I didn't have a small enough drill to drill into the end of the dowel rod, and I cracked the dowel, and so I decided to go off on a tangent and just rig it up with zip ties. So the gist of what I'm trying to do here is we have the standard GoPro fitting there. We have standard hose fitting on the other end of it. The GoPro can now go on the end here. It can screw together. It's a little bit fiddly to do it properly, but I'll just do that up loosely. Goes on the end, clip it onto a hose. Now I have a pipe camera. Yeah, that's as simple as it. There's also a spot on the GoPro here for a little leash to go on there. So eventually I'm going to put a couple of holes down in the hose here. And so when I do use it, I can attach a leash from the GoPro itself to the hose. So worst case scenario, if that fitting breaks, if all the zip ties snap, the GoPro will be loosely attached to the end of the hose and hopefully we can pull it back out of whatever pipe it's jammed in, and hopefully I don't lose my GoPro. So that's it, just you know, inventive afternoon. Thought I'd show it to you. Lily is interested in, yeah, you really don't want to eat the zip ties, Lil. Lily's interested in the zip ties, but yeah, I'll give this a go in the not too distant future, and we will no doubt share the video with you. Sweet, thanks for tuning in. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, by all means hit us up on the interwebs. You can find us at ideanthro.com. You can find us at facebook.com/ideanthro, and on YouTube and Instagram and all that jazz. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, yep, I think I already said that. I'm going to call it there. Have a good one.